Hold on. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, let me make sure that I can see the screen as well. Okay, so hi everyone again. Welcome back to those of you who were here last Friday, and welcome to those who are joining for the first time. So this is the last session of our first webinar, and in this session we'll be it's more of a practical session. So we're going to be looking at creating the ideal profile on ProGigFinder. As I was saying before, if you missed the first session, you can find it on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, no, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So just to recap a bit what we did in the first session. So in the first session, we kind of looked at the independent workforce, specifically the gig economy. And I see something in the chat. My name is Grace. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in visual communication design, multimedia. Good evening, Grace. I think you were here last Friday. Yes, welcome. So last Friday, we looked at the independent workforce, the gig economy, and how it's growing. We also discussed some skills that the participants have, and how those skills can contribute to the gig economy and how it can help them earn money. We also looked at ProGigFinder and what we at ProGigFinder also have to offer to this economy. So just as a recap, ProGigFinder is Africa's leading marketplace when it comes to connecting people who need something done to the people who need something to do. So basically, if you have a problem, you can find the solution in the form of a person on ProGigFinder. So we are able to facilitate freelancers, we're able to facilitate gig posting. We also have jobs like traditional jobs. So if you're looking for something to do, you can join ProGigFinder, or if you need the solution to a problem, you can also join ProGigFinder, post a gig, or search freelancers. If you guys have any additional questions, we'll go over it at the end. Now, in today's session, as I said before, we'll be looking at components of the ideal profile on ProGigFinder. I'm using Alan's profile or CEO's profile as the, example. So we're going to be looking at six main different components. One, the professional photo. I'm
Brittany, when people don't worry when they come, I'll be admitting them, so you can just continue.
Okay, thank you. So we'll be looking at the professional photo, that component, your headline, your professional bio, your portfolio, skills and specialization, your expertise, and then as well as the hourly rate. So looking at how to optimize these so you are more, appealing to potential clients. And then at the end, we're going to be facilitating, depending on how many persons join at the end of, by the time I'm finished with the presentation, we're either going to be going into breakout rooms or we'll just stay in this, meeting room, and you guys can work on your profile and ask us whatever questions you have. So the first thing we're going to be discussing is the professional profile photo. Some of this knowledge you may already have, but I think it would be like a good reinforcement to make you more appealing. So to the left of the screen, you will see just like examples of kind of what's acceptable when it comes on to a professional profile photo. And just to go over some of the best practices, for example, when choosing a professional profile photo for your freelancing profile, it's best that it's one that is recent, one that reflects truly who you are, also one that goes from the shoulder up. So please ensure that your whole face is showing, people can see you clearly, that there's good lighting. Also, it's advised that you would dress professionally for your industry. So for example, if you're a mechanic, there's no problem with you being in an overall in your profile photo. I would say if when it comes on to the way you should dress, it should either be what you would wear to the interview or what you'd wear on a daily basis. Also, since this profile photo is the first thing your client sees, you want to be approachable. You want to seem natural and approachable. So it would be best to smile or have a pleasant look on your face. When it comes to things that I would suggest that you avoid when it comes on to the profile photo, sometimes we have these photos that we like, that may be a group photo. So we try to crop ourselves and, make it look like, it was a single photo, but sometimes it's quite obvious. So try to avoid group photos or the crop photos where you try to crop others out. Also avoid casual photos like photos you take on vacation when you're not appropriately dressed, casual selfies, making like pouty faces, the duck face, looking cute. Try to avoid those. Also, when it comes to distracting backgrounds and filters, for example, like the picture in on the screen with the lady with the horse in the background, probably bright colors in the background, you should be the main focus of the photo. So try to choose photos where you are the main focus and there are no like filters. Try to avoid like the Snapchat filters, the makeup heavy filters on maybe Instagram and TikTok, stuff like that. Try to keep it very professional, very welcoming, I would say. And then when it comes to the headline and the bio, I'll start with the headline. So for example, Alan, he's a security reporting engineer. Just keep it short. It's just your title. If you want to add, I guess, some pizzazz to it, there's some additional things that you can include. Like Alan's title is very specific to his expertise. He's a security reporting engineer. But also, if you think that, for example, your years of experience could be an asset, you could put that in bracket. For example, if you have 10 years of expertise, you could put that in bracket. Also, for example, if you're a photographer or a videographer and you work specifically with, I don't know, environmental contracts, or you work specifically in the health industry, you could, for example, put photographer for the health industry or something like that. You could put your specific specialization or your specific target industry. So that's the title. Keep it simple, short, and very to the point. And then when it comes to your about me, your bio, also keep it short, keep it professional, keep it filled with your expertise. Make sure that there's a section for skills. So there's no need to get into very deep into the skills that you can offer, but make it more so about what you can offer the client. What type of benefits will the clients have when they work with you? Also, you can include, for example, relevant education and experience. Because there's no, for example, on ProGigFinder, there's no specific section for you to put your education. So this could be potentially where you could incorporate that. Also, when it comes to the specific writing, in order to make it appealing, you can start with a strong opening hook. For example, I know in English class, for example, when we're writing essays and so on, they always say to start with a strong hook, something that will attract. And that can take different forms. That looks differently to each person. For example, you could think that your years of experience could attract somebody, or you can start with a quote or something, but keep it precise, keep it professional. And when ending, you can end with a very clear call to action. For example, you can say, I can strengthen your blah, 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 based on, the industry that you're working in. So just keep it short, keep it precise, keep it filled with benefits that you can offer the client. And you can include, for example, relevant education and experience that you have. And then when it comes to your portfolio, so usually if you're just starting out as a freelancer, there's a possibility that you may not have a portfolio. But as you, for example, on ProGigFinder, as you start to work, for example, 6 months in, 1 year in, getting different projects, getting different gigs, it would be good to keep a, catalog of your best, most relevant, and your most recent projects, because including this can be very appealing to your audience. So, or to your potential clients, they're able to see the range of skills you have. The advice would be to keep probably about 4 to 6 of your best work so that it's easily accessible by potential clients. There is a section on ProGigFinder that allows you to upload your portfolio. Maybe I think you can put a link or you can upload it directly. Alan can get more into that after, and if you have any questions. Also, include a variety to showcase your skills. For example, you might be a tutor, but you might also be a graphic designer, or you might be a graphic designer and a plumber. You can categorize categorize your different skills and have different portfolios. So maybe if you're a cleaner, you can take pictures when you're allowed to and upload them. If you're a graphic designer, you keep I don't know, posters that you have done in one category and so on. So categorize your different skills and have portfolios for each. And ProGigFinder facilitates this. And try your best to use your most recent work. I mentioned this before, but your most recent work kind of depicts what your current abilities are, because over time you can like start to lose like the ability to do how good you are at a certain skill. So for example, if a client comes on and the most recent, for example, graphic design work that you have is from 5 years ago, it might not be as appealing with somebody who posted some work that they did yesterday. So try to keep your portfolio updated as you work, update the portfolio and so on. And even if you don't have any now, please keep that in mind to keep it in mind to upload it as you start to get gigs and different projects. And then in terms of the way it's presented, make sure they're high quality images. That's best. Clean formatting, have brief, it would be good to have like a brief description of each project and your contribution. What were the results of the project? And as I mentioned before, categorize the different the different works that you do so that it's easy for somebody to go in and see the work that you're doing specifically for the service that they want. So if you are, again, if you're a graphic designer and a plumber, they can go into your portfolio, click plumbing services and see, I don't know, for example, images of plumbing work that you've done or videos or so on. That might be a bad example, but I think you understand what I'm saying. And then in terms of skills and specializations, so in the overview section on ProGigFinder, there's an overview of the skills that you're able to offer, but there's a more in-depth section where you can put your skills and your years of experience. So I would advise to list both your technical and soft skills. So for example, if you're an like a event planner, it would be good. You can, for example, I don't know, you can lift heavy weights, but then also you're good at communication. So list both technical and soft skills. Also, it's very important to use industry specific keywords. So for example, Alan is a security reporting engineer and he has ensured to put certain industry specific keywords like test automation, software testing, security reporting, dashboard and analytics. So if somebody types in dashboard, his profile will pop up. So he's there. He put those words so that people can easily find him. And also be honest about your proficiency level. For example, if you're doing test automation and you only have a year worth of experience, put the year. You're expected to grow. And some people, they want people who are not necessarily stuck in their ways. They want people who are fresh at the job. So just be honest. And also at ProGigFinder, one of our core values is transparency and would like that to be reflected in the freelancers that we have on the platform as well. Also you can, if you choose to, on ProGigFinder, you can focus on a specific niche or not. You can be a plumber, you can be a graphic designer, a tutor. You have the ability to put as many, services on ProGigFinder as you want to offer. But also, you should also put the specialized tools and methodologies you use. For example, I'm a biomedical engineer, and on in my freelance profile, I'm good at, I don't know, 3D design. I would probably put Fusion 360 or AutoCAD or something so that people can see the specific tools that I use and, tools that could potentially be beneficial to them. Again, I would organize my skills in terms of categories. So I'd put all my technical skills in, to start off, and then maybe all my soft skills to end, and so on. And then please update your skills regularly. So as you get more experience, as you start to take on more gigs, as you start to do more projects, your skills might expand. So it's good to regularly check your profile and update it. And then lastly, before we go into the breakout rooms and you're able to, work on your profiles, we just want to discuss a little bit about setting your rate on ProGigFinder. So the way it works on ProGigFinder, you're able to set an hourly rate. In the future, we're also looking to integrate a range, like a hourly rate range, so you can change it based on your how complex the job might be. So that's something we're looking to integrate, but for now, you can set a specific hourly rate. Because I would say different services, different professions have different rates, so we can't recommend a specific amount to you. That's very much that's very, I guess, subjective, and only you can determine your rate. But what we do suggest is doing market research. There are a lot of tools out there, and Alan is going to speak specifically about a tool that we offer on ProGigFinder, an AI tool where you can go in, put in your years of experience, maybe put in the expenses that you have. For example, if you're working as a planner, you might have to buy, I don't know, cardboard, you may have to rent seats and so on. So you have to account for your expenses in your rates. Also, the project complexity and so on. You can put that into the AI and it can help you come up with a pricing or a rate based on the information that you give it. So Alan is going to give a short demo. He'll show you how it works.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brittany. So I'm going to share my screen now. Like Brittany mentioned, to be able to know how to charge people, for example, if you have a skill or if you have like a service that you offer and you want to charge people, but you actually don't know how much should I charge. Usually there is a lot of information, and what you would normally do, for example, is to go to places like Google or social media and see what other people could be charging so as to know. But for us at ProGigFinder, we try to make everything easy for you. So we've introduced a new AI agent called Center AI. And if you come to ProGigFinder, you can either access it by clicking here on Center AI or clicking here in the navigation bar, by clicking Center AI. So if I click it, I'll go to this page where it tells me about Center AI, and it welcomes you. Hello, I'm Center AI, and a pricing AI assistant specializing in African markets. And the beauty about this information and the data we are giving you is research backed data, and it's also location aware, because if you go to other services and try to use AI or Google, there are high chances that you get like a bunch of data, but not specifically for the African market. And this is the beauty about ProGigFinder. So since most of us here are students, I'll use an example. For example, I'll assume that I'm a university student. So I'll come and say, hello, Sente. I am a university student at Makerere, and I can offer typing services. So it will think and reply to me. So to provide you with accurate pricing guidance, could you please share more details about your experience level, the location where you'll be offering the services, and your target market at university? So I'll tell it the location. I am in Kampala, Uganda, Makerere University. I have 3 years of experience, and then I will mostly be typing courseworks for people who want to print them. And then here it will come and tell me that, okay, so great to hear. Depending on, based on ProGigFinder freelancer data, typing services can range from 500 to 2,000 per page, depending on the complexity. and formatting requirements with your experience, and then give me some recommendation. So this is one example of how you can know your pricing. Rather than now going to the internet to know what is, of course, you can still go to the internet, look for more information, but at least you have a very good starting point. If any other person has like an example they want us to try out, I could also try it out if we are still in time, Brittany. But mostly this is it. And also, for example, before I forget, this is available on the web application. And also, if you're using our Android application, there is a section that is called pricing. And very soon we shall be also on iOS, and it will also be available. So in case you are wondering, what can I charge? Or I have this service, I have this skill, but I don't know what I can charge or what is my hourly rate. So let's try actually. In case I want to charge hourly, how much can I charge? So it tells me when it comes to charging hourly for typing services in Kampala, ProGigFinder freelancers typically charge between 10,000 to 30,000 per hour. So based on this also, and maybe the number of jobs and what, so now you can set your hourly rate maybe to something in the middle, 30,000 minus 10, it will be 20. So you use that as your hourly rate, because there is a low end and a high end. So you'll be in the middle if you want to be like in the middle. But like I mentioned, the good thing, this is research-backed data. It is location aware, and you've seen how instant the results are. So this is Center AI. You can also try it out, or if you know people who don't know what to charge, or for example, you're doing anything whatsoever, but you're wondering how can I charge or what should I be charged, you can always come to Center AI and check it out. It will help you to determine the pricing. Thank you. Back to you, Brittany.
Yeah, so thanks for the overview of the pricing tool. Now the next slide, it was just showcasing how we want to either go in breakout rooms, or if you feel more comfortable, we can all work here together and you can just ask us any questions you have. I'll be sending the ProGigFinder link of where you can go to sign up. And if you have any questions, Alan can also walk you through to show you exactly where to go to set up your freelancer profile, and then you can start setting it up and just ask us questions as they pop up in your head, I guess. So I'll send the link here, the sign up link, and then we can start from there. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a bit short. We needed maybe an hour to just like set up the profiles, because writing the time and the bio and everything takes some time. But,
Yeah.
but I think for now, everybody like understands exactly how to set up the profile. If you have any additional questions, I think we have about 2 or 3 minutes now where you can ask just like general questions. If you have encountered any problems with the profile and you didn't get to ask it in the breakout room, feel free to ask right now. Then if
Mm.
not, we'll give you our contact information. You can contact us. Also, we'll be having a second webinar at the end of September. If on the registration form you selected that you were interested in receiving information about our upcoming webinars, you will receive that flyer by email. So that's how you can see us. That's how you can contact us via our contact information that we'll give to you, or via the upcoming webinars. But now I'll leave the space open for about 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes maybe, for you to ask whatever question you need to in order to, optimize your profile.
Someone in the chat asks, shall we be able to remain with a recording of the steps following so that we can go through at our leisure?
Yeah, that's something that we can definitely do. We can create a recording, and we can create that actually this week and upload it to our YouTube channel. So you can keep checking our YouTube channel, because we put the recordings for all the webinars there, and any other video showing you how to navigate the platform. And I also think we have some videos up. I'm not sure if there's a freelancer video how to set up the profile there just yet, but
No, I
and
think,
work on that, upload it.
yeah, I'll upload it.
Okay.
Yeah. Feel free to send your question in the chat or you can ask.
Okay. Should I share my screen for this one, or do you want to go ahead, Alan?
You can share your screen.
Okay. So once you've created the profile, your general profile, what happens is, can you see my screen? Can
Yes.
you see my screen? So
Yes, we can.
yeah, once you've created a general profile, there should be a pop-up which says welcome, and then you can either create a freelance profile or browse jobs. You can right there in the pop-up, you can select create freelance profile. But if, for example, you clicked off that pop-up and you weren't able to select create freelance profile, to the side on the sidebar here that I'm scrolling down, under profile and tools, you can select freelancer profile. And then here you're able to upload your profile photo, your first name, your last name, your email, your location. They're auto-filled, but then you have to input your professional title, your hourly rate. You have to redo your professional bio because this is the bio that everyone will see. This is your public bio. So you can either copy and paste the one you initially put in to create your profile, or create an even more compelling one if you decide to do so. And then you can select your availability status. Once you do that, then you select next. And then this is where you're able to put in your skills and expertise. So just to recall, on the sidebar, you go to freelancer profile. On the profile and tools, you go to the freelancer profile, you put in your personal info, then you select next, and then it takes you to the skills and expertise section. And then you're able to put in your skill name. So for example, UI, UX design, your proficiency level. So for example, you're an expert at this. You have 13 years of experience apparently. And then you're able to add that skill. So that skill is now added, and then you're able to add as many skills as you need to.
Yeah, and in the end, you click save profile and everything should be saved.
Yeah.
All right. I think we are a little bit out of out of time. So, if there are no further questions, just a sneak peek for our next um, webinar. We'll have a guest speaker who is an expert in doing freelance work, a very good social media influencer with a very good background. So keep looking out for that, and we'll share with you the information if you shared with us the consent to share with you the upcoming webinars. And also you can keep checking on our social media pages to see more information about this. And if in case you didn't get anything, we put this on our YouTube, on our Facebook, and on our Twitter accounts. You'll find all the webinar available there. Thank you very much. And it was nice having every one of you. Brittany has something to say.
Actually, Joanne has her hand raised. I was just bringing your attention to that.
Okay. John, do you have a question?
No, not a question, but just to say I'm particularly excited about the new feature. I think it will be helpful to kind of gauge what my services would be like, because since I'm new at this, I don't know how
Mm.
much people out there are charging, and I don't want to undercharge myself, but also want to have a competitive rate. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about Center AI. Thank you, ProGigFinder team.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, John. That's so super encouraging. Actually, in one of our breakout rooms, also we used it live to determine the hourly rate for one of the participants who asked. So we're also excited, and we are glad that we have like all these tools to help us like know our worth, charge very well, and it's all in ProGigFinder. All right. Thank you everyone for attending. See you in our next webinar, which will be at the end of this month. Thank you very much. Bye bye.